Hi everybody, welcome to homework video week 5. Okay, so let's get straight into it. We're going to start off looking at the maths that we've been focusing on this week. And you can see it split into tiers 1 and 2 and tiers 3. So as usual, I would like to make sure that all year 5s at least give tier 3 a go. If tier 3 proves too tricky, don't worry. Try tier 1 and 2. You will get there with tier 3, okay? You've got to just keep practicing. We will get there. And could all year 4s do tier 1, do tier 1 and 2 up here. But year 4s, if you, and I know a few of you have been amazing at this week, if you feel up to trying out tier 3, give tier 3 a go, okay? Now let me remind you of how we do this. So we are multiplying, in the first case, in the tier 1s and 2, we are multiplying 3-digit numbers by a 1-digit number, okay? So the first step is to write it out. Now we must write it out properly. If we don't set it out properly, our answer goes wrong. So at the top, I'm putting the bigger number, so 454, and then underneath I'm putting 3. Okay, I'm multiplying 454 by 3. Why do we set it out like that? Well, we set it out according to place value. Okay, so in this column we have the 1s, in this column we have the 10s, and in this column we have the hundreds. They've got to be respective, okay, which means we've got to have all the 1s in the same column, all the 10s and all the hundreds. Obviously the number 3 doesn't have any 10s or hundreds, it only has 1s or units, so we're going to keep it in this column. Okay, what is my next step? Well, I can always do the multiplication symbol here, but next step is I need to get this number down here, the 3, and multiply it by 4, then multiply it by 5, and then multiply it by 4. Okay, so 3 times 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. The answer is 12. Okay, now our answer 12 has 2 digits. The second digit, the 2, goes underneath, and the first digit, the 1, is carried over to the next number over here near the 5. Okay, and we've dealt with that. We now need to move on. We do 3 times 5, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Add the 1 that we carried over, 16. Okay, again our answer has 2 digits, 16. So the second digit, the 6, down here. The first digit, the 1, goes into the next column. And finally, we do 3 multiplied by 4. 3, 6, 9, 12. Add that 1 that we carried over, is 13. Now, 13 has 2 digits, so second digit goes down here. First digit, we can't carry it over because there's nothing left to do, so we just put it down here as well. And we're done. The answer is 1,362. Okay? What I would suggest is always check your answers. So once you've done a question, put it in the calculator, see if you're correct. If you're not correct, try again, see if you can see where you've gone wrong. And if you are correct, brilliant, you can do it. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to, this is really, really important, okay? What I want you to do is, if you're doing tiers 1 and 2, have a go at doing that right now. So when I finish speaking, pause the video, have a go at doing that. Check it on a calculator or ask, or do whatever you need to do to figure out what the answer is. If you're right, great. We're going to move on to the next section with more questions in a minute. But if you're incorrect, just rewind this video slightly and go through it once more, the example that I just gave, to see if you can figure out where you've gone wrong. Okay. For people trying tier 3, I'm going to show you another example now, but this one is slightly more challenging. Okay, I'm going to work it out up here, so don't be confused. I'm answering this one here. Okay, now this is a bit more challenging. So 454 multiplied by 33. Okay. As I've said in previous videos, something that I struggle with is speaking slowly. I'll speak very, very quickly, but I'm going to be very careful here to speak very, very slowly so that you really understand, okay? So, like the first one, we need to get this number and multiply it by 4, multiply it by 5, and multiply it by 4. Let's forget this 3 for a minute. Forget that exists. All we're doing is 3 times 4, 3 times 5, and 3 times 4. Okay, so let's do it. 3 times 4 is 3, 6, 9, 12. So we've got a 2-digit number answer, so the 2 goes underneath, and the 1 is carried over into the next column. Okay, then we do 3 times 5. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Add the one that we carried over is 16. Again, a 2-digit number answer, 16. The 6 goes down here, and the 1 is carried over. 3 times 4. 3, 6, 9, 12. Add the one that we carried over is 13. Now, 2-digit number answer, so the 3 goes down here. The 1 we cannot carry over because we're out of columns. Yeah, we've gone to the last column, so I'll put that down here as well. Now this bit's very, very, very important. If we don't do this next bit, our whole answer is wrong, so be very, very careful. When we're multiplying by 2 digits, before we move on to the second digit, this one here, before we move on to this 3, the tens digit, we must always put a 0 in the first column. This is a placeholder, okay? It's to show that we're multiplying by 30. We're not multiplying by 3 here, we're multiplying by 30. So when I do 3 times 4 in a minute, what I'm really doing is 30 times 4, because I have this 0 here already, okay? That's why we do it. So always remember to put this 0 before we move on to the next number. Okay, now let's do it. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 3, 6, 9, 12. 2-digit number answer, so the 2 goes underneath, and the 1 gets carried across to the next column. Then we do 3 times 5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Add the 1 at the top is 16. Okay, so 6 goes down here, and 1 is carried over to the next column. 3 times 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. Add the 1 that we carried over is 13. 3 and 1. Alright, I haven't given myself a lot of room, so I do apologise here. So what I'm going to do is shift it all up a bit if I can. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay, that would do. Alright, so now what we need to do, once we've got those 2 answers, we've multiplied the first 3 by 454, then we multiplied the next 3 by 454. Once we've got these 2 answers, we're just going to add them together, okay? One place value at a time. So we do 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 6 is 9. 1 plus 3 is 4. And nothing plus 1 is 1. I'm going to check my answer to see if I'm correct. Hey Siri, what is 454 multiplied by 33? So I don't know if you can see. 14,982. It's very unclear, isn't it? But I am correct, okay? Regardless of how you check, calculator, Siri, Alexa, anything that you want to use, please do use it, because it's one of the things that makes us learn really, really quickly is knowing that we're doing the right thing. Because if you answer 10 questions and you don't know if they're right, we've wasted a lot of time because they could all be wrong. But if you answer one question, check it and see that you're wrong, then you can fix the issue before you move on to the next questions, yeah? So the same thing for tier 3. Could you do this one first, okay? Check it on the calculator, and then once you've done that, if your answer's correct, we're going to move on to the next stage, which I'll show you in a second. If it isn't correct, figure out where it's gone wrong, okay? And if you still can't figure it out after rewatching the explanation, please don't worry, okay? We're going to go through this quite a lot of times. Please don't worry, but make sure that you tell me. Make sure when you next see me, or make it obvious in your homework that you don't understand, okay? Now, year 4s, this is the standard, okay? This is what we need to do. If we can't do tier 3, no problem, okay? Do not worry. Year 5s, we do need to be able to do this. So if you can't, it's very important that you let me know that you can't. It's very important that you practice, okay? Alright, let's move on. So, here are some questions based on what we've just done. There's 3 questions for tier 1s and 2, and 3 questions for tier 3. Now, once you finish these questions, why not make your own, okay? So, rather than doing just 3, why not, once you've done them, write another 10 for yourself. Okay, we need to keep practicing, and making these sorts of questions is very easy, right? All you have to do is write a 3-digit number, multiply sign, 2-digit number, you've done it. Okay, so it's very, very easy to create these questions. So once you finish them, if you fancy a bigger challenge, give it another go. Please don't do 3 digits multiplied by 3 digits, okay? It's a whole different ball game. I know you like to challenge yourself. You don't need to do that, okay? So don't worry about that. Don't confuse yourself. Let's focus on 3 times 2. It's all we need to do, okay? All right, well done, guys. So we're going to move on now. Okay, so on the screen, you can see it says match the words on the left with the closest antonym. So we've been looking at synonyms, which means a similar word. Antonyms means the opposite. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is look at all these words on the left. These are words that we've looked at. So apprehensive, detest, livid, ecstatic, listless, and cautious. And can you match it to its antonym, the word that's most opposite on the right? Okay, so you might want to pause the video and do that now. And when you have finished, play the video. Okay, we've got 2 words to add to our vocabulary bank this week. Now, we've already got 6 impressive words. We've got 2 more to add to our bank, and they are, the first is bewildered. Bewildered. What does it mean? It means confused, and synonyms are confused, puzzled, perplexed, and baffled. So when you come to doing some creative writing at school or at home, and you feel like you want to use the word confused, use the word bewildered, yeah? Perplexed. The whole point is we need to be ambitious with our vocabulary, okay? So confused isn't a terrible word, it's okay, but bewildered is so much more ambitious. It shows that you have a strong vocabulary, okay? So use it in a sentence, use it in your next bit of creative writing, do whatever you need to do, but keep that word in there, okay? Here it is in a sentence. The purple sky bewildered him. The purple sky confused him, perplexed him, baffled him. He'd never seen such colour before. He looked at the sky, he saw that it was purple, and that's quite unusual, so he was confused, he was bewildered by it, okay? So, can you, actually, don't do anything just yet, just keep that in your head. I'll tell you about the task in a minute. And the next word is captivating. Something that is very interesting, so interesting that you cannot help but look. It captures your interest, okay? So something that is so fascinating that you cannot help but look. Here are some synonyms: interesting, fascinating, engrossing. Okay? Now, he found the whole place captivating. He found the whole place interesting. Why? Because it had vibrant colours and mystical sounds. Okay? So the fact that this place had vibrant colours and mystical sounds means that he found it captivating. He found it very, very, very interesting. He was captured by it. Okay, so there's 2 really interesting words. We've got captivating and we've got bewildered. Your task is, there's 3 different tasks. Tier 1, can you write 2 sentences? One sentence must include the word bewildered. The other sentence must include the word captivating. Both sentences should also include an adverb. Tier 2, write 2 sentences. One sentence must include the word bewildered. The other sentence must include the word captivating. Both sentences should include an adverb, a preposition, and an additional adjective. Okay, so not just the words that we're using, the new words that we've got, but another adjective. And tier 3, can you create a paragraph of writing about anything you want? Can you use apprehensive, cautious, ecstatic, bewildered, and captivating within your writing? Include all 7 main word classes. So nouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and determiners. I actually think that all of us could give tier 3 a really good go. I don't think there's anyone that can't give that a good go. I recommend that we will try that one. Of course, if it's too difficult, move down a tier. But I really do think we can all do tier 3. Okay? Alright. We've come to the end. But now we've got the pasta competition. And I know that sounds really strange. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's just a bit of fun. Here is a challenge I have for you. I have a jar of pasta. Can you see? Yeah? I'm going to hold it next to me so you can see proportion. Yeah? So here's a jar of pasta. I'd like you, and this is going to sound really crazy, but it's just a bit of fun, okay? I'd like you to see if you can tell me how many pieces of pasta are in this jar. Now, you're likely to be very, very far off, okay? You're likely to be very wrong. Who cares? It's just a bit of fun, okay? Here's one, the size of one piece of pasta, okay? Very, very small, all right? And I've got a whole, you can see, yeah, I've got this whole tube of pasta in here. Okay, so give it a go. Tell me how many pieces you think are in here, and the person with the closest guess will win a small prize. Okay, like I said, it's not really maths related, is it? It's kind of a little bit maths related, but it's more fun. Forget the maths side of things. It's just a bit of fun. How many pieces are in here? Ask your parent to send me your answer. Please don't tell me the number in person, because it's tricky to do it that way, because I might forget to write it down. If you send it to me via message, then I've got it. Okay. So let me know how many. I'm gonna hold it up one more time. All right. Well done, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I know I'm seeing some of you this Sunday online for some creative writing. I'm looking forward to that. Hope you are too. So those that I'm seeing on Sunday, see you then. Otherwise, see you next week. Bye, guys.